Here's the veteran Will Lutz to get us going. And off we go from Denver. On the return, it's Williams. He'll get this up to the 28-yard line. Nice place for the drive to start. The Giants offense making their way out for the first time. They're led out by their veteran quarterback, Super Bowl winner, Russell Wilson.
In my opinion, Mike, if they expect to leave here today with a win, they're going to have to be aggressive early and often. They might not connect on all of them, but pushing the ball downfield could open up a lot of opportunities for you to take advantage as this game unfolds.
They'll break the huddle. Coming up now for 1st and 10. A run with the man out of Purdue. That's Tyrone Tracy. And a short pickup to about the 30. They'll come up on a 2nd down and 8. On the ground, it's right back to Tracy. And he'll get close to the marker. A nice run, probably a yard short of that 1st down.
It's tough to completely celebrate, Mike, when you don't pick up the 1st down, but that's a run you will take every single time. I mean, good yardage, in a lot of situations, it'll get you the 1st down, just not here.
On 3rd down, they'll run with Tracy. And the drive will stay alive. He's got the 1st down up to the 44. From the gun, it's Wilson. And it's complete to the sideline. Nice job getting both feet down inbounds.
This is why the timing of these routes is so critical. If that ball is thrown a little bit later, he's unable to keep his feet in bounds, but instead the quarterback is on time and accurate, and the receiver does a nice job not only securing the catch, but ensuring that both feet remain in bounds.
Angling to the sideline, inside the 35. 18 yards on the pickup there. 1st down, Giants.
Let's give some love to the big guys up front here, Mike. The offensive line is looking good here early to start the game. Couple nice big explosive runs. Expect them to continue to lean on the big guys up front as the rest of this game unfolds.
Play action. Now, Wilson. That's over the middle and intercepted. Picked off by Dre Greenlaw. And the Broncos will take over here just past the 30.
When you find yourself in this situation, Mike, you're on defense, you're defending your own goal line, you got to take some chances. You got to try to force a turnover and make a play and get off the field. That's exactly what this defender did. Takes a chance, bets on himself, and comes away with a pick to save them some points.
Here comes the Denver offense set to take over for the first time. They'll be led by the man from Oregon who started his career at Auburn, quarterback Bo Nix.
You hear people talk about it all the time, and it's especially true, Mike, for young rookie quarterbacks, is just the speed of the game. They had a lot of success in college. They were probably the best player on their team, but just everything is faster. Everything happens with a little more urgency. The quarterbacks at the young age that can make that transition the quickest, everything else then tends to slow down.
They'll run. This is McLaughlin. And not much there. He's back to the original line. No gain on that one.
What makes great linebackers stand out from the pack is their instincts and their vision. In this case, the linebacker has his keys, brings him right where the ball is going, and he's able to make a play at the point of attack and keep this to a no gain.
They'll stick with him again. And he's across the 40, close to a first down, as the tackle's made at the 41-yard line.
Very positive returns on that run. I mean, really, the only thing not to like is that they weren't able to move the chains. But you know what? The way he ran there, I think they go right back to him and see if he has even a bigger carry in him.
The tight end, Ingram, is on the move. And they've got it. Going to pick up the first down there. Right around midfield. They'll stay on the ground. He'll get this across midfield down to the 48. Micah McFadden, the linebacker, there on the tackle. They face second down and 7. Back to throw is Nix. A pass complete to the tight end, Evan Ingram.
As a route runner, once you identify zone coverage like they were playing here, the key is find open space and stay in it. He did a nice job here because that was not a big hole. The quarterback had to put a little extra on that one, and they were able to make the completion.
They'll try and throw for it on 3rd and 1. And the defense can't come up with a stop there. Gain of 7 and a first down. Following the completion, we'll get a stoppage here for an injured player. The training staff going to look, and will step out for a moment. First and 10. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And that'll go for a gain of about 4. That's Bobby Okereke there for the stop. Here's a 2nd and 6. Throwing, Nix. That's complete. It's McLaughlin. And he won't get away. Good open field tackle there to get him down behind the line.
I think this play is a direct result of his film study. He knew exactly where that ball was going before the play was snapped, and that play recognition, man, it separates a lot of guys in this league and results in a negative play.
Oh, and that throw not able to be pulled in. It's incomplete. Looked like he may have got a little ahead of himself there, and it's going to bring up 4th down.
And on that 3rd down, they thought an easy way to pick it up and get some positive yards would go to their quick game, but it didn't seem like the receiver and the quarterback were on the same page, and now brings up 4th down.
And that one doinks off the right upright. No good. And this will remain a scoreless game.
You could see the body language of the kicker, Mike. Once it left his foot, he was kind of leaning. He was trying to bring that one back towards the middle. But that's the sound you dread as a kicker. It reverberates around the stadium, off the upright, no good.
From the 39, here's a 1st and 10. On the give, it's Tracy. And that one shut down pretty quickly. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. Nothing more.
All the qualities that make a good safety are seen on display on this play. Speed, pursuit, and then the intensity and the strength at the point of contact for the tackle to keep this ball carrier to no gain. That is a complete safety play.
A run here with Tracy on 2nd down. Fighting off defenders here. He'll churn forward and pick up 3. We're going to try to pick this up on 3rd and 8. Throwing is Wilson. He'll try and get there on the ground. And Wilson's been doing this a long time. He knows the drill, slides to avoid the contact, and picks up the first down.
This is exactly how it's supposed to look on 3rd down. His eyes are downfield, nothing materializes. He quickly decides he can do it himself, picks up the first down, and then to protect himself with the slide, well done.
On the ground, here's Tracy. And he finds some space, tackled after a gain of 7 on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 3 to go. Now it's Wilson. And that's going to be incomplete. Coverage was good that time. The contact jarring the ball loose and forcing 3rd down.
Sometimes it's those footsteps. I don't care how long you've been playing or at what level you've been playing at. When that defender's bearing down, you really get a good idea of what guys are willing to go through contact to secure a catch, and in this case, what guys are unwilling.
He's got his man complete to Johnson. And he will have the first down. The drive will continue after a pickup of 8.
Everyone always assumes that you only want to run drag routes or crossing routes just underneath like mesh concepts against man coverage, but so often they're equally as effective against the zone. All it takes is one of those underneath man defenders to latch on to the wrong route, and all of a sudden there is a lot of room, not only for the completion.
Oh, the blitz gets there quickly, and down he goes.
Looked like a pass protection breakdown. They had 5 offensive linemen and a running back in the backfield. I promise you, somebody was assigned to that linebacker, but he timed the blitz perfectly. He ran through and was able to bring him down for a big sack.
Work to do now as they come up on 2nd and long. A quick throw here on the RPO. It's caught by Johnson.
We hear the term RPO so often, Mike, and it continues to kind of trickle its way into the NFL. But remember, it's a lot different in the NFL than it is in the college game where it's a lot more prevalent. The lineman cannot go downfield. So that quarterback has to make a lot of really fast snapshot decisions, or else it's going to lead to a penalty or him holding on to the ball too long. So it's something that teams want to implement, but maybe not quite to the level that we see in the college game.
They get 14 yards and set up 1st and goal.
Those plays are killers for a defense. You think you have the quarterback hemmed in. You think you have a chance for your pass rush to get you off the field. Instead, he gets away, picks up some tough yards, and sets his team up 1st and goal.
This is hot toward the side of the end zone. Darius Slayton. Touchdown, Giants.
And this is what good offenses in the NFL do, Mike. It's the ability to bounce back, even if the onset of the game doesn't go exactly according to plan. Everybody wants to take their opening possession and go down there and come away with a touchdown. But it's not always going to be perfect. You turn it over on possession 1. What are you going to do in response on possession 2? Well, we just got our answer, and they took it down for 6.
Now it's Graham Gano for the PAT. The kick is good. And the Giants will take a 7-0 lead. So out is Gano after the touchdown. He'll send this one away. On the return, here comes Marvin Mims. And a solid run back there. He'll get this out past the 30-yard line. The Broncos offense ready to see what they can do on their second possession. They trail here by a touchdown as this drive will start with a first down. A run now with McLaughlin. And he'll manage to get this ahead for a pickup of 5. Off the play fake, here's Nix. Now he'll run.
These are the plays that just drive the defensive coordinator crazy, Mike. You do everything right, but you don't account for the quarterback scrambling. He's able to get out of the pocket and gain enough for a first down.
So they come to the line for first down and 10. Now a give on the ground. This defense all over this one. They get him down behind the line. It's a loss of a couple.
Every team makes an emphasis on winning first down, but as a defense, when you're able to take them back for a loss, second and long, you can really become more of a pass-centric defense and really tips the scales into your favor.
Back to the ground. He'll get it again. And he'll take this ahead for a gain of about 5, and here comes third down. Now Nick's going to look to throw. He will air this out, looking for Sutton. And on third down, that ball incomplete. Cortland Sutton, the intended receiver, and it's going to bring up fourth down.
Back in the day, Mike, you know how they decided who played offense and who played defense? The guys who caught the ball better played offense, and the guys who couldn't play defense. And now that's obviously not the case anymore. But this is one of those that still gives defensive players a bad rap.
Throwing now, Wilson on first down. And he's taken down on what should be the final play of this first quarter. One quarter in the books. 7-0 is our score. Greg and I back in Denver in just a moment. A carry here for Tracy. And he'll only manage to pick up 3 yards. And that leads to third down. Wilson. Now a screen set up for Tracy. And he's very close to a first down, but it doesn't look like he got there. And yes, they're going to mark him a yard short.
This exact situation here, Mike, tends to get a lot of conversation around the league. I think I'm going for it. I think here around midfield, you got to maintain possession, see if you can end this drive with some points. I think you got to stay aggressive, keep your offense on the field.
The Broncos offense headed back to take over once more. They'll try to establish some tempo as they start this one with 1st and 10. From the shotgun, here's Nix. And he'll be taken down rather swiftly after a gain of just 3. Second and 7. They'll turn and hand this one off. And he'll weave his way down close to that 1st down. Going to come up just a little shy. It's going to be 3rd down and short. To throw is Nix. He's got his tight end. It's Ingram. And he will have a Broncos 1st down. He has it by plenty as they keep the drive alive here on 3rd and inches.
This play is actually really well defended here. But I'll tell you, Mike, as you know, my philosophy is the tight end is always open, and this just supports my case.
A 1st down throw for Nix. He's got the tight end, Adam Troutman. And he is out of bounds, but not until he's inside the 40-yard line. First catch for him on the afternoon, and it results in a 1st down.
And if he's late with that throw, Mike, there's a really good chance a defender could have made a play on it. But he does a beautiful job. He puts the ball out in front of his shoulder, leads the receiver, and allows him to get upfield and pick up the 1st down.
Nix now on 1st and 10. He's got his receiver. It's Cortland Sutton. And that keeps him ahead of schedule. That's a 1st down completion of 7 yards. Second down and 3. Now some movement up front. Flags down. Mistake-filled 1st half continues. On 2nd down, it's Nix. That's caught left side by Ingram. And they're going to take this into the red zone to the 15-yard line.
Just seems like every year, Mike, the tight end position just continues to grow within the passing game and establishes a bigger and bigger role. And listen, I know I'm biased, but if you want to have a good passing game, you better have a good tight end.
Nix now to throw it here on 1st down. Oh, and a short throw there, but it's going to end up incomplete. That's a pass he'll say he should have had. Instead, he does not, and it brings up 2nd down.
So the receiver does everything right except for the most important part. He runs a nice route. He creates great separation downfield. But now you just got to finish that thing off with a catch.
A run here. It's McLaughlin. He'll get about 3, and that's going to lead to 3rd down. A successful drive, but in danger of stalling. Trying to convert now on 3rd and 7. Nix from the gun on 3rd down. Taking off, he'll try to get there. And the Broncos are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
Really nice job here, not only avoiding the rush on 3rd down, but quickly finding that crease, get downfield, and he's able to pick up the 1st down.
This drive has been methodical, but will they turn it into 6 points? It is 1st and goal. And he'll get forward for a couple. It's 2nd down. Throwing is Nix. He tries to make a break for the goal line, but they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage.
And that's a big-time play. It felt like they really needed it, Mike. That was a drive where the offense seemed to be in complete control. Anytime on the defense where you find yourself on your heels, you're giving up big plays, you're giving up fresh set of downs, you need a spark. You need something to change the momentum of the drive, and we'll see if that was it right there.
They were stopped on 2nd down, now 3rd and goal from the 1. They'll try to run this one in. And he's so close to breaking the plane, but the official's going to come in and mark him short. So now it's 4th down.
Let's get a camera on this defensive coordinator, Mike. He's got to be fired up from what he sees from this defense. Huge stop there, no gain, forces a 4th down.
So instead of going for the 1st down, in comes the field goal unit. Bit of a surprise here. He makes up for the earlier miss. This time, the kick is good. And the Broncos are on the board. It's 7-3.
It's always a little bit of a letdown, Mike. You find yourself deep in the red zone and you have to settle for a short field goal like that. In this case, he's able to put it through, and they get 3.
So following the field goal, Lutz is back out to kick it away. Here's Williams on the return. And this will work out quite well. He'll get it all the way out to the 30-yard line. The visitors' offense and their running back getting set for this next possession. The lead sits at 4, so they'll try to add on to that. This drive begins with 1st and 10. And that one's incomplete, but a late flag comes in. Looked like he might have gotten there early. Now a 1st and 10 from the 38-yard line. They'll come up now for 2nd down and 4. Out of the gun, it's Wilson. Pass pulled in by Tracy. And he'll be taken down. The gain is 6, and it's a new set of downs. He picked up the 1st down.
We're starting to see this so often, Mike. The days of just having a running back who you're just going to turn around and hand it to, yes, that's still a critical part of NFL offensive football, but their ability to be used in the passing game, just one more thing for the defense to have to defend, make them go sideline to sideline, line of scrimmage to the end zone, defend every blade of grass, and a really good running back goes a long way in doing that.
They'll try again here. 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, that's over the middle and intercepted. Picked off by Dre Greenlaw.
Mike, these are just throws you're not accustomed to seeing, especially from a quarterback that has played this much football. He's been around the NFL for a long time. He's got to make better decisions. Costly mistakes like that are going to kill his team.
The Broncos offense ready to get back at it. They'll start from the plus side of midfield, looking to possibly take the lead here. It's 1st and 10. On the ground, McLaughlin. And that'll be good for about a half dozen. It'll set up 2nd down. Working out of the gun, it's Nix. And he'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
At this level, you just would expect a little bit better execution and accuracy on those intermediate throws. I think he had an opportunity there for a nice pickup. Off target, off rhythm, and ends up getting away from him.
Here's a 3rd down and 4. They'll throw. It's Nix. Oh, and that throw not able to be pulled in. It's incomplete. Looked like he may have got a little ahead of himself there. And it's going to bring up 4th down.
Here in the first half, we've seen nothing but connections from these two guys. I mean, they've come out completely on fire. So the defense finally gets a stop. And really the first time we've seen these guys be a little bit off.
That's going to be out of bounds, no return. And the drive's going to start from just inside the 20-yard line. The visitors' offense getting those helmets back on, ready to head out for their next possession. They'll see if they can put something together here, beginning with 1st and 10. On the zone read, a give to Tracy. He'll be taken down after a gain of 2. They'll run again. It's Tracy again. And this will gain a couple of yards up to the 22-yard line. Got to get it to the 28, but now it's 3rd down. Out of the gun, here's Russ. And that is incomplete.
So on a day where he's completed, give or take half of his passes, Mike, you have to imagine there's a handful of throws he'd like to have back, and I think that last one falls in that category. But the biggest thing, and most fortunately for them, they find themselves with the lead despite a bit of an up-and-down performance out of their quarterback.
To return, it's Mims, and he'll get forward a few yards on the return. And that's where the offense will take over. The home team's offense about ready to take over once more. They trail by 4. A touchdown gives them the lead. Drive begins with 1st and 10. They'll begin here on the ground. And he'll get about 6 there, setting up 2nd down. Here's Nix to throw. He will air this out, looking for Sutton.
I know it fell for an incompletion, but pretty impressive. He was able to push that ball really far downfield as he was being hit. Really says a lot about the arm strength that this quarterback has.
They'll run. This is McLaughlin.
That's a heck of a stop by this defense early in this game, Mike, and it sets up a decision for the offense. You might be a little too far away to attempt a realistic field goal, but you might be a little too close to get anything out of the punt unit. I think I'm keeping the offense on. I'm trying to extend this drive, and I'm being aggressive here early.
On comes the punter now, as he's on to punt for Denver. The Giants offense ready to take over once more. They'll begin with 1st and 10. Wilson lines up in the pistol. He's got his man, that's Slayton. And they'll get about half of what they needed. It's a pickup of 5 and sets up 2nd and 5. 7-3 is the score. 2 minutes to play in the first half. Greg and I return to Denver after this. From the shotgun, Wilson. To the outside, complete to Johnson. From the 34 now, it's 1st and 10. Back to throw. Wilson. They'll try to hit him with a screen. He's going to be taken down, but there's a late flag in the backfield that might give him 15 more yards. They'll come up 1st and 10 at the 40. Now Russ. Right back to Johnson. He's got it again. And that keeps him ahead of schedule. That's a 1st down completion of 7 yards. Here's a 2nd and 3 forthcoming. Again, Wilson. And they'll pick up the 1st down, a gain of about 4. To throw again is Wilson. They'll look to set up the screen here. And the Giants here will use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go until halftime. After the loss of 3, it is 2nd and 13. Wilson will throw again. Now a screen set up for Tracy. And a good job rallying to the football. Holding just a gain of a yard and sets up 3rd down.
Just a little slow developing on that screenplay there. It was pretty obvious to the entire defense exactly what was going on. Nobody was thinking pass. Nobody was getting back into their drops, and just nowhere for that back to go.
3rd and long. It's Wilson. He'll get it into the hands of Slayton. Now whistles. Timeout. 3 seconds left in this first half. Here is Graham Gano to try the field goal. Officially, it's a 36-yard attempt. Gano's kick is good. And the Giants going to tack on 3 more, extending the lead here late in the first half.
All right, Mike, we'll take it from there as we welcome everyone into our EA Sports Studios and our halftime report. These two teams ready for the second half, and so are we. So let's get you back out to Mike Tirico and Greg Olson.
Okay, Coach, thanks a bunch. We'll see which team's adjustment's going to pay dividends here. Likely going to play a big role in who wins this one. Pretty interesting first half. We'll see if any strategy changes for the next 30 minutes or more as this second half gets underway. And he'll be brought down just beyond the 25-yard line. The home team's offense ready to get going again. They'll have it first in this third quarter. Just the lone field goal for them so far, down 10-3 in this one. And they'll start 1st and 10. From the shotgun, here's Nix. Got it into the hands of Mims. And he'll be taken down up at the 40-yard line. Here's 1st and 10. Handoff as they try to run it here. And it'll be stacked up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play.
The integrity of the defense, Mike, is based on every defender holding their gap. That's exactly what we saw out of this defensive tackle. Not only did he hold his gap, he's able to shed his block and make the play.
They'll try again. It's 2nd and 10. Got a man over the middle. There's Sutton. And he'll get this up close to a first down as the tackle is made right at the midfield stripe.
It may not have moved the chains, but with what they were dealing with there on 2nd down, that's a really nice pickup because now it opens up your play call sheet on 3rd down where it's a little bit more manageable.
Trying to pick this one up on the ground. And he's got it. Good work there to take it to the 47 and set up 1st down. Back to throw is Nix. That's over the middle and intercepted. Picked off by Bobby Okereke. And his offense is going to be all set up with a short field and a chance to extend their lead.
It's not often, Mike, that everything breaks right for this type of return off of an interception. But boy, is it beautiful when it does. I mean, look at the defenders just flip around and become blockers, trying to spring their guy to the house. Great athleticism, some great moves on his part. I mean, he's going to have some of his offensive teammates looking over their shoulder for their position.
The Giants offense getting ready for their opening possession of this second half. They'll start really in field goal territory already, but they're looking for more. Offense got it 1st and 10. Oh, a lot of chances on that one. It was bouncing around, but it falls incomplete.
I think he just rushed that decision just a little bit downfield. I mean, it's one thing to trust your guy to make a play in tight coverage, but I think if he was a little bit more patient in his progression, there was an easier throw out there that wouldn't make him have to throw such a tight window ball and put his receiver in a tight spot.
That is hot. What a throw. Wan'Dale Robinson. Touchdown, New York.
All week, we're going to see this play be run over and over as a highlight of the quarterback and the receiver. But, Mike, the part that people don't give enough credit to, in order to get a downfield shot, you have to have time, and what a great job by the offensive line, allowing the quarterback to be comfortable enough in the pocket, let those deeper routes develop, be on time and accurate with the ball, and that's why this play is going to be a highlight all week. Let's give the big guys up front some credit.
Extra point by Gano is up and good. And the Giants move out in front by the score of 17-3. So out is Gano after the touchdown. He'll send this one away. Now return coming from the 7. And he's brought down right at the 25-yard line. The home team's offense ready to take over possession of the football. They trail by 2 touchdowns, so the time is now. Got to get that rally going. It starts with 1st and 10. Drive will start on the ground. Room up the sideline at the 45. And he's going to be taken down on the other side of the 50-yard line.
There's a combination of footwork and vision, his ability to kind of weave through traffic and understand where the holes were. It's a really nice job working through some bodies and picking up a big gain.
We'll go 3 tight ends here on 1st and 10. They'll stay on the ground. And they bring him down, but not until they get inside the 30-yard line.
And he continues to carry the ball well. Another nice one here. But as they find themselves continuing to trail here in the second half, the opposing team's defense is not really concerned about the run game. They need to find a way to use the pass to get the lead and then go back to this run game to close the game out.
They'll break the huddle. Coming up now for 1st and 10. Now Nick's going to look to throw. He runs with it. Good decision to take off. He gets 15 yards and a 1st down.
You know, Mike, I like everything about this play except the very end. You've already picked up good yardage. You've already picked up the 1st down. Now get down on the ground and protect yourself. There's no reason to take those shots.
On the bootleg, it's Nix. The open man is Adkins. They'll come up here on 2nd down and 5. Blown back in the backfield. He'll get the carry here. And they are all over that on defense. Good surge. Drops him back. Let's put him at the 9-yard line.
You have to wonder if next time does the play caller give his quarterback some options to check out of this play. It was clear before the ball was snapped. This was not a great look for that play call, and you can see the end result.
Nix from the gun on 3rd down. That's to the end zone, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Marvin Mims there. And that's going to lead to a 4th down.
You could just see the reaction on the sideline. This defense thought they had themselves a critical stop. The mantra down here for all defensive coordinators, Mike, is takeaways, field goals. That's what you're trying to do, and, man, they were this close to coming away with a huge takeaway. So it's not exactly what you're looking for when you set out on a drive, but at the same time, you don't want to come away empty-handed either. So in this case, they'll take those 3 points.
So following the field goal, Lutz is back out to kick it away. Williams now to return. And he'll be brought down past the 25. Decent field position to start this drive. Here's the Giants offense now. They get set to take over once more. They built a nice lead for themselves here. They'll try to add to that, beginning with 1st down. On the handoff, here comes Tracy. And this will be a Giants 1st down. He has this one past the 35 to about the 37.
It's too early at this point, Mike, to really start thinking about the clock. You definitely don't want to go into a shell. But now this is the point in the game where having a good ground game really starts to take over. You throw to get the lead, but man, once you get it, that ground game, that's what finishes the game off.
Throw left side, that's Johnson. And he's taken down, but just shy of midfield.
These curl routes, he's been running these routes since he was a young kid in Pop Warner football, and I like to call it pulling the string. You've got the defender thinking you're going downfield, and you stick that foot in the ground, work back to the quarterback, friendly to the ball, and really nice job picking up the 1st down.
On the ground, here's Tracy. And the defense right on that. I don't know if keeping would have done any better. No gain on that one.
These edge rushers, they are judged by their sack totals, Mike. They love to rush the passer. But they have responsibilities in the run game as well. Great job here, keeping it to no gain.
On 2nd down, Wilson. That is caught downfield. It's Johnson, the tight end. And he'll be taken down, but they are in business inside the 30-yard line.
Really nice job here by the tight end, understanding that if you're not open, get open. And if you are open, stay open. He found a nice void in the zone on the backside of the defense, friendly to the quarterback. Nice pickup.
1st and 10. On the give, it's Tracy. And this takes him into the red zone. He's brought down inside the 20-yard line.
This is one of those cases where having high-end speed in the backfield can be such a game changer. The offensive linemen don't need to hold their blocks quite as long. You give this guy a little bit of a crease, and man, he is gone.
On 1st down, Wilson. And with a flag down, he goes down. They get him for the sack, and that flag is probably on the offense as well. Here's Wilson to throw. Now a short one caught by the tight end Johnson. And it'll be taken down after a gain of 9 and 3rd down coming up. Out of the gun, here's Russ. And he's able to gain yardage out of this one before he slides.
And that's a great job defensively here on third down. Not only taking away all the options down the field through the air, but when the quarterback decides to turn into a runner himself, they're able to converge and make the play and keep him short of the first down.
Here is Graham Gano to try the field goal. Officially a 29-yard attempt. He is 2 for 2. That kick is good. And the Giants will extend their third quarter lead.
And this is what you want. I mean, you clearly have the advantage, but you want to continue to apply pressure. Can you score every time you get the ball? They're able to do that here. They tack on 3 and extend their lead.
Graham Gano now, following the field goal, back to kick this one away. This will be returned from the 6. He'll work his way across the 25-yard line. The Broncos offense and Jaleel McLaughlin head back onto the field. And as you take a look at the numbers, you have to imagine he was the topic of conversation in that locker room at halftime. They got to find a way to slow him down. Nothing they've done has worked so far. They'll come up here, 1st and 10. Working out of the gun, it's Nix. Throwing left side there, but it is incomplete.
It's one of those balls where the quarterback wishes there was a string. The second it came out of his hand, he wished he could just pull it back, because from the moment it left his hand, that looked like a sure interception, and the only reason it wasn't because the defender just flat out dropped it.
2nd down, Nix. This one complete to Sutton. They'll mark him down up at the 44-yard line. A 1st down throw for Nix. He goes right back to Sutton. That's a nice pickup on a 1st down throw. It's a gain of 8.
So they have these rules for the receivers, Mike. They call them green grass rules. And the idea is if you're running across the field and you're looking at the quarterback, you're going to stay on the run. If you're not looking at the quarterback, that tells him, I'm going to sit in this soft zone. I'm going to what they call punch and pivot and stop. And that tells the quarterback to put the ball on your chest. That nonverbal communication between the receiver and the quarterback, recognizing when you're open, stay open, that's the stuff that makes a lot of these offenses so difficult to defend.
Nix now on 1st and 10. The catch made there by Sutton. And they'll take this down inside the 35. A run now with McLaughlin. And let's give him about 4 on that one. That's Dexter Lawrence in for the tackle. Here's a 2nd and 6. They send Sutton in motion. Here comes the jet sweep. And they will take him down at the 20-yard line.
He had plenty of juice coming across to get the ball, Mike, but he hit a whole new gear after he secured it and began getting vertical. By comparison, it looked like a lot of the defenders who had a shot at him were a little flat-footed and ended up getting burned for a big gain.
Whistles look like the right side got an early jump there. Let's check the flag. That one on the former Notre Dame star, Mike McGlinchey. They send Sutton in motion. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. So, 3 quarters now in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Now, a second down throw for Nix. That's complete. It's McLaughlin. A very nice open field tackle there. He could not get free and gains nothing. What can they do here? This is 3rd and forever. Throwing. Nix. That is caught at the 3. And he will score. Game on. Cortland Sutton. Touchdown Broncos.
It's just backbreaking here. If you're the defense, you feel like you're in a really good spot. It's 3rd and pass. You understand what the offense likely has to do to convert the first down. They just don't do a great job of covering the receivers. And at the same point, let's give a lot of credit. Nice job by the quarterback working through his progression, getting to the right choice, and it pays off for a touchdown.
So, things a little more interesting now. Back to a 1-score game as they kick it away. He fields it at the 8. And their drive will begin at the 30-yard line. The Giants offense and Russell Wilson set to take over once more. And we run you through the highlights here. It has been a very big performance from the quarterback position. Instrumental in leading and executing, and now trying to finish strong and take his team to the finish line. Set to go now on 1st and 10. Slot receiver headed right. They show jet sweep and instead run it up the middle. And he's brought down after a gain of a couple. Second down and 8. Now Russ to the outside, complete to Johnson. And he'll get about 6 before he's taken down. This crowd into it now as we get to 3rd down. From the gun, it's Wilson. And that is incomplete.
Well, here we find the best laid plans sometimes do go astray. Every offense, Mike, what do they tell us? We want to stay ahead of the chains. We want to stay on schedule. This was a third and very reasonable. Incomplete on that third down try. Now brings up 4th and short.
That's fielded at about the 18. And he'll be brought down. Short return. And they'll take over there. Back onto the field comes the Denver offense. They'll start out 1st down and 10. Throwing is Nix. And he does a nice job to avoid the initial wave. They're going to get him down behind the line.
It's 1st down. You got to get the ball out of your hands. I understand trying to take a shot. I love it on early downs. But once it's not there and that protection starts to break down, it's either check down or throwaway. You don't want to be in 2nd and long.
Now a give on the ground. And he nearly got free. But as it is, gain of 6, and it sets up 3rd down. Here's Nix to throw, and that is incomplete.
This has really been the story of this entire game, Mike. I mean, this pass rush has had the advantage over the offense pretty much from the jump, and they've already recorded a couple of sacks, a handful of close calls, and it's the pressure in the backfield is why this team finds themselves with the lead here late in this ballgame.
Here's Smith-Marset, and he's going to be brought down after a short return. And that's where his team will get possession of the football. The Giants offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And this defense has really had their way so far, intercepting him twice, forced into a number of bad throws, and generally the D has just made it tough to operate all game long. A fresh set of downs to work with. It is 1st down and 10. Out of the gun, it's Wilson. Off-balance throw. It's complete. And he'll be taken down rather swiftly after a gain of just 3. They face 2nd down and 7. They'll run with Tracy. And he'll get close to the marker. A nice run, probably a yard short of that 1st down. Here's 3rd down and a few inches. On the ground, it's right back to Tracy. So from 3rd and 2, back him up to 3rd and 7. From the shotgun, Wilson. He'll try and get there on the ground. And Wilson's been doing this a long time. He knows the drill, slides to avoid the contact, and picks up the 1st down. 12 yards there, and a 1st down.
Here you are at the end of the game. You need a stop. You find yourself trailing. You have everybody covered, and the quarterback gets loose. Those are the plays that just kill a defensive coordinator. You're about to force a punt, about to get the ball back to your offense. Give credit to the quarterback. He made a play when they needed it. These plays just kill you on defense. The pressure's good, but you have to contain them. Quarterback does a nice job of escaping the pocket, turns into a runner, scrambles for positive yardage.
They'll work now on 2nd and 4. Here's Wilson. That's taken in. What a catch by Neighbors. They get 12 yards on that pass. That's good for a Giants first down. Now it's Tracy looking to run. What a run. He brings it to the red zone. Taken down inside the 20-yard line.
And this is the point of the game, Mike, where you really can start leaning on your run game and try to close this game out. You've got the lead. You're in the fourth quarter, and they're able to pop off a big run.
They're at the 17-yard line now for 1st and 10. Now it's Wilson. He's going to keep it himself. And he's into the end zone. That might be the knockout punch. Russell Wilson. Touchdown, New York. That is a heartbreaker for the defense. They took away what he wanted to do in the air, Greg, but that scrambling ability gets him to the end zone for the touchdown.
And the reason he was able to take advantage with his legs here, Mike, is he made a fast decision realizing there was nowhere to go with the ball. The amount of guys the defense had in coverage took those passes away. He tucked the ball down, took advantage of the space, and he was able to take it all the way.
Gano on to add the extra point. He knocks it through. And the Giants will open it up even further here in this fourth quarter. So out is Gano after the touchdown. He'll send this one away. A safe kick taken at the 5. And he'll be forced out of bounds, but a very solid return. The Broncos offense starting to trot out for this next possession. They'll do so with 1st and 10. From the shotgun, here's Nix. He connects with Mims. And he's going to be taken down right at midfield.
This is what every offense looks to do, Mike. They want to attack the middle of the field. That's the most valuable real estate in football. And oftentimes, that's where the chunk plays come. Give it to your receiver on the move and let them do the rest.
A run here. It's McLaughlin. And a good job following his blockers. A gain of 7. It'll be 2nd down. Back to throw is Nix. Oh, in trouble. Down he goes.
When you can win so fast as an edge rusher, you put so much pressure on the quarterback to speed everything up. He can sense that pressure coming either from his front or back side. It either speeds up and leads to an errant throw, or in this case, it leads to a sack.
They need 8 as they come up for 3rd down. Nix from the gun on 3rd down. Throwing it right into the hands of his running back. 13 yards on that pass play. First down, Broncos.
Anytime you have a running back like this, it's more about just how many ways can you get the ball in his hand. He's had a great game today so far on the ground. Now they're starting to find ways to get him the ball through the air, and that is a handful for any defense.
So they come to the line for first down and 10. To throw is Nix. Down to the 10. And he is going to be out of bounds. He had their lone touchdown of the game earlier, and he comes through with the catch and a first down in this spot.
There's a reason certain guys, Mike, just always seem to be open. It's really because route running is more art than it is science. How do you manipulate the defense to find open spots or win versus man to create separation and earn the trust of your quarterback? It's a nice job here defensively. Down here tight, it's easy to be so concerned about stopping the pass that you lose sight of the quarterback when he decides to become a runner. Not the case here. Picks up a little positive yardage, sets up second and goal.
Ball is at the 8 for second and goal. Now Nick's going to look to throw. There he goes again, and he will score. Game on. Bo Nix. Touchdown, Denver. That is second touchdown of the afternoon. Here's Lutz now for the extra point. He's got it. And the Broncos will cut the deficit to 7. So, things a little more interesting now. Back to a one-score game as they kick it away. On the return, it's Williams. And he'll be brought down just beyond the 25-yard line. The visitors' offense and their running back set to go once more. And it's hard to believe you could run the ball a whole lot better than he has. The vision, the cutback ability, the acceleration, the stats. It has all been on display throughout. They'll throw on first down with Wilson. Oh, and a short throw there, but it's going to end up incomplete. That's a pass he'll say he should have had. Instead, he does not, and it brings up second down.
Oftentimes, it's the wide open ones that are the hardest to catch. It seems like the ball is in the air forever. You start overthinking it. You start really making more of it than what you should, and you let it slip away.
A carry here for Tracy. And that will get him back on schedule. Good pickup of 7, sets up 3rd and 3. Out of the gun, here's Russ. Pass pulled in by Tracy. And he's going to have enough for a first down. He's out of bounds after a gain of 5.
At this point in the game, Mike, it really starts coming down to the number of possessions. So that's a huge first down conversion. Fresh set of downs. Now, The balance is stay aggressive and maintain the ball, but also start working this clock.
Now a short one caught by the tight end Johnson. And they'll get about half of what they needed. It's a pickup of 5 and sets up 2nd and 5. On the zone read, a give to Tracy. And they'll have it across midfield down at the opposing 46-yard line.
And this running game has really been rolling, Mike, all game long. The holes, the run lanes, they've been there consistently. Here's another nice run as they look to put this game away.
So 2 minutes left to play in the second half. Greg and I back for the conclusion in a moment. They'll run again. It's Tracy again. A modest gain. Maybe 2 yards. It's 2nd down. They send him right out of the slot. They fake the jet sweep and will hand it up the middle. And they bring him down, but not until they get inside the 30-yard line. They'll go to the ground, and here's Tracy on 1st down. And good blocking up front, paving the way for a gain of 8 on the ground. Here's 2nd and 2. They'll stick with him again. And he'll be close to a 1st down. A gain of a couple as they mark him just short. You don't need much. It is 3rd and inches. Try to pick this one up on the ground. And he will have a Giants 1st down. At least at first glance, they'll spot the football just beyond the marker. They find a way to convert on 3rd and inches. Victory formation here as he's down to a knee. So a road win here for the Giants. They're able to get the job done in front of a hostile crowd as they come away with the victory. So that'll do it for us. For Greg Olson and our terrific team behind the scenes, I'm Mike Tirico. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. Follow us on X at EA Madden NFL. So long, everybody.